All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, Bashem, God Kadash, double honor to the apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And what I have here, it says, men aren't leaving, but women are. Now, normally I don't go into videos like this, but but she brought out some interesting things that I had to look up because we already know these things, we've been saying it, but for a lot of people, it takes another woman to tell these things. And you know it's bad when a woman has to tell what other women are doing is bad. We use these as examples for not just us, but for other people to understand that this world is more fucked up than people think, especially in this society. This society has become so damn soft that a lot of people had to is surprised about what a woman would say because a lot of women wouldn't admit to shit like this. But when it happens, it's just like, well, shit. Everybody was like, well, that's fucked up. But the people didn't realize this shit beforehand. But I'm gonna get straight to the point of this. This should be like a short clip, so here we go.
Explain it to you. So women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes. You know, he doesn't get youth anymore, so he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid, so he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her, right? And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kids. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. Mm-hmm. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like F it because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it? But like men are logical. They're logical people, and so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like,
so even and Salaki, I think I might have missed some when I was opening up. But double on to apostles of the GMS and sincere Shalom to the brothers out there that's doing this truth and sincerity. But as you see, as she said, 70 to 80% of women are leaving men in marriages. And I had to look it up that it was true. It's even the rest of the numbers with men leaving. Because you got to understand, not this ain't solely all the women's fault for being all fucked up. A lot of them just follow what the men do. But this goes to show you that if this is a big number, this goes to show you who loves the other person more. And 9 times out of 10, it's the men that will love that women more than women will love the men. It's just a common thing in this society. You're allowed to leave whoever the fuck you want and take half just because you have kids by them. In this society, a lot of men are becoming more scared to even be with these women. They went over to other countries to avoid shit like this. So what does that do for the women here? So let me jump into the scripture. This is Proverbs 30 and 20. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. So a lot of women would actually come against this woman for saying what she's saying because they know it's the truth. They know this is the truth that they do this. Time after time, I didn't heard how many men got divorced and their kids taken and their money taken. So not only did you lose the woman you worked so hard to get, you lost the children that you worked so hard to take care of, and then you lost all the money that you worked to take care of both. To take care of both. So that shows you how screwed up the society is that allows stuff like this. Now I can understand if it's from men that actually dip out on their wives and children because they didn't want to accept responsibility. And as far as I remember, I think that was a thing at one point before they started changing it to where women could just say, "I want a divorce," and they want all the money and the kids. And they only use the kids as leverage. A lot of these women use the kids as leverage. That's the only reason they even want to keep them. Because a lot of times, the women don't even want to keep the children. Have you ever seen how they even dress them? They dress the daughters all fine, the doll up to be just like them, but they dress the boys all fucked up because they resemble their father too much. That is the mindset of these women. And there was another clip I was going to show as well that's similar to this, but showing how the woman was going to, if it was said, if dating apps was a real reality thing, and the woman was just picking out men that she wanted, but she didn't want none of them because they didn't suit her criteria. And at the end, they was like, "There's no more men in this area," and she was flabbergasted. So I'm gonna show that clip too. I'm gonna record that. But this is that's the mindset of these women. And again, I don't even do videos on stuff like this anymore because, again, we already know what the deal is. But this is Isaiah 42:22. It says, "But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They're all of them snared on holes, and they are hidden in prison houses." So for the men, we're screwed all the way around. But for women, this prison house, they I can't even say they serve as the CEOs. They just get the better treatment in this prison. Because guess what? They are more free to do what they like. And when I went into that word freedom, is basically to have sexual liberty, to do anything you want, so long as in the wicked order. So they are literally being able to take advantage of the society when it comes to the money, the how to play a person. That's all school was. They know as men we ain't paying attention to a lot of that shit in school because guess what? We're more hands on. We learn as we go. We prefer learning hands on things. But for women, it's they're fine with being sitting down educated. They're not the ones that's boarding class. For men, it's usually too easy for us because we just don't give a fuck at that point. So to them, they know we're not going to sit down and pay attention. For women, they make good slaves because they're all preppy. They sitting down. They are learning all sorts of things that can work in their fair advantage. Not I was prime example. I mean, a lot of men are prime examples. When you sit on the outside of class and you just sit there and watch what goes on, you can see a major difference. But these are these snares and holes. You send them to an educational school. You teach them how to work the system as far as the women. Because once they find out they hear money, because that's what a lot of women chase nowadays is money. Once they hear money, they coming up with a plan. They scheming and all sorts of other shit. Men, when we hear money, we hear of an advantage that we can work with and how we can take care of our family, what we can get, but we ain't try to screw a lot of people over. Now, that's not the case 100% of the times for men, but you'll hear of a woman trying to get over a man quicker than a man trying to get over on a woman. Now, this is Proverbs 31:10. It says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." So, and this goes both ways, mind you. When it says her price is far above rubies, in her mind, she's trying to find a man that's a higher quality than rubies. Which is why when it comes to the average man, she can't find one that she could settle down with. But even with these celebrities, these women, these men that are celebrities still ain't enough for them because they still not above rubies. But here's why I say this is both ways. This is verse 11. It says, "The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life." And see, this is where we say when it comes to an actual good woman that actually tries to take care of her man, that is a woman that is also set above rubies because she is actually doing what a woman is supposed to do. Whereas a woman that's not trying to do what she's supposed to do is lesser than a ruby. But in these women's minds, they all think they're above rubies. And that's not true. That's why these men are leaving and going to other countries to get women that are rubies to them. So the value of the woman in her mindset is like gold. But in reality, it is trash and filth. And that's far as the woman that doesn't fit the shoe. For the actual good, sincere women and sisters that's trying, y'all will have the mindset of y'all will actually have the actual reality of being set above rubies, which would be like your gold and silver and other things. But for the woman that's just being a whore, then you're set right to trash level, filth. So a good woman would do right by her husband, and of course a husband would do right by her wife. I mean his wife, doing the right things. This goes for both men and women. So if you, again, even with this, it says 70 to 80% of women are leaving men. That is a very, very high number. And the fact that women don't care about this, but only get mad when men go to these other countries to get women that have a better mindset than these women here. A lot of women should be ashamed of themselves, but they don't. They will try to throw the blame on us before they try to accept their responsibility. And that is where that's their problem. Hell, if I was of the world, I'd be going to Brazil to get another woman. Because at this point I refuse to deal with any woman here. If the Lord bless me with one that's actually a good one, then I'll take it. But for any of these women, all the women out here, fuck them. But that's all I have going to that. So little one, this is a little edifying just to show you that there is proof that that the society of this world is fucked, screwed over, and needs to be destroyed. So with that, shalom.